In a small, picturesque village nestled in the mountains, there was a clockmaker named Elias, who was renowned for his craftsmanship. His clocks were not just timekeepers, they were works of art, each one unique and imbued with a sense of magic. But Elias was a reclusive man, rarely seen outside his workshop. The villagers whispered that he had a dark secret, one that he kept hidden. One day, a young traveler named Lena arrived in the village. She was a journalist, always on the lookout for a good story, and the rumors about Elias intrigued her. She decided to visit his shop, hoping to uncover the truth behind the enigmatic clockmaker. When Lena entered the shop, she was greeted by the soft ticking of countless clocks. The air was thick with the scent of oil and wood, and the walls were lined with intricate timepieces of all shapes and sizes. Elias was a tall, gaunt man with piercing blue eyes. He greeted her with a nod but said little, his attention focused on the clock he was repairing. Lena struck up a conversation, asking Elias about his work and the rumors surrounding him. At first, he was reluctant to speak, but as the hours passed, he began to open up. He told her about his life, his passion for clockmaking, and the curse that had plagued his family. According to Elias, his ancestors had made a deal with a powerful entity to gain their extraordinary skills. In exchange, they were cursed to live forever. Their souls bound to the clocks they created. Each clock contained a piece of their soul, and as long as the clocks continued to tick, they could never find peace. Lena was fascinated by the story, but she was also skeptical. She asked Elias if he truly believed in the curse, and he responded by showing her a clock unlike any she had ever seen. It was a large, ornate piece, with a face that seemed to shift and change as she looked at it. Elias explained that this was his own clock, the one that contained his soul. As the days passed, Lena found herself drawn to Elias and his story. She spent more and more time in his shop, watching him work and listening to his tales. But she also began to notice strange things. The clocks seemed to whisper to her, their ticking growing louder and more insistent. She would wake up in the middle of the night, convinced that she had heard her name being called. One evening, as Lena was helping Elias with a particularly complex clock, she accidentally triggered a hidden mechanism. The clock began to chime, and the room was filled with a blinding light. When the light faded, Lena found herself in a different place, a vast, timeless void where the clocks floated in the air, their ticking echoing like a heartbeat. Elias appeared beside her, his face filled with both sorrow and relief. "You've unlocked the curse," he said, "but now you must choose. Stay here and become part of the clockwork, or return to the world of the living and break the curse forever." Lena was torn. She had grown to care for Elias, but she also knew that she had a life to return to. As she hesitated, the clocks began to chime in unison, their voices merging into a single, haunting melody. She realized that the curse was not just a burden for Elias and his family. It was a prison for the souls trapped within the clocks. In a moment of clarity, Lena made her decision. She reached out and touched Elias's clock, feeling a surge of energy. As the curse began to unravel, the void around her dissolved, and she found herself back in the shop, the clocks silent and still. Elias was gone, but Lena knew that he had finally found peace. She left the village the next day, carrying with her the story of the clockmaker's curse. And though she never saw Elias again, she often thought of him and the timeless melody of the clocks that had set him free. If you enjoyed this haunting tale, don't forget to subscribe to Mystic Shadows for more story.